Hello everyone. In today's video, we will be working on making our sashing blocks. This is for our quilt along called Sweetland by Holt. Alright, so now that I have finished all of my pieced blocks and my applique blocks, this is all of my scrap fabrics. I did go ahead and grab some more scraps of the background fabric because we're going to be cutting 2.5-inch strips from our background fabric for our sashing. So gather up all of your scraps and let's start cutting. Alright, these sashing blocks are scrap busters. I love it. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to have A and B. A is our colored fabric. We're going to cut strips 1.5 inches by 16.5 inches. We will need 48 strips that long. And then B is the center of our sashing, and that's going to be our background fabric, a light colored fabric, and that's 2.5 inches by 16.5 inches, and we need 24 of those. We're going to make 24 sashing blocks. Unfinished, once they're sewn together, they'll be 4.5 inches by 16.5 inches long. Alright, so as you can see, I have an assortment of scraps here, all cut and ready to make our sashing units. Alright, something I noticed in Lori's instructions is in her sashing units, her colored strips, she used red. The red colorway. I'm not doing it that way. I'm using all of my scraps. So I'm going to have blue, yellow, and red as my colored strips. You can do it any way you want, but I like to use up my scraps. And besides, these are the same fabrics I used in the quilt, so it's going to look great. All right, so now that I have all of my strips pressed and cut, we're going to take one background and 2 colored strips, and we're going to sew them together and make strip sets. Alright guys, so I have laid out one of my applique blocks, one of our pieced blocks, and our sashing strips. This is not how I'm going to actually sew mine together. I have a large assortment. This is just some that I just sewed right now on the sewing machine. So I just want to lay them out with the blocks and our 4.5-inch square, which is our cornerstones, just to show you how the quilt will be put together. So in our rows, we'll have blocks with sashing, and then in between the rows, we'll have sashing, cornerstones, and sashing. So this gives you a good idea of how the quilt's going to be laid out. And it's really cute. I love it. Lori, you did such a good job. I love this quilt. All right, guys. So as you can see, making our sashing blocks is really simple. And like I said, a great stash buster and scrap buster. I used all of these fabrics left over from the scraps that I used to make our quilt. So this whole quilt has been made with scraps. I love it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
and subscribe to Grandma's channel. Like and subscribe to Grandma's channel.